We're joined now by Dave Roach, and Dave is the athletic director at Fordham University, my alma mater, but he's also the former AD in the Ivy League at Brown University. Dave, good to talk to you today. And I, decided to, or wanted to really have you on to talk about process. So especially when you were at Brown, which is a non-scholarship league when it comes to athletes, I was hoping you could explain to people how this process is supposed to work. In other words, do the coaches, like a soccer coach or a volleyball coach, whatever the case may be, get a number of slots each year where they could have come to you as the athletic director or somebody at admissions and try to help those students get in? How is it supposed to work?
Yeah, I can happy to explain it to you, for you, Connell. I also, besides being the AD at Brown, I coached at Brown.
Yep.
So I actually had experience dealing with admissions, and I found the Brown admissions office great to work with. But essentially what happens is each head coach, each sport in great academic schools like the Ivy League are given X amount of spots of kids that they would say to admissions, here's someone who could really help my team and like to support them. And admissions would look at them and say, well, based on their academics, they could do the work here at our institution. And they have so many applicants. There's always a big group of people who can all do the work and who you're going to actually decide to enroll. So you have X amount of spots, and you would hope that the coaches, they're all competitive. They want to have good programs, and they're going to use those spots for people who could really help their teams and be great students and great athletes at their institution.
Now, in this case, as you know, Dave, they were not even players at all, like the soccer player as an example that's been talked about at Yale. So as you learn about this, is there something in the system itself that you think needs to be changed so there are more checks and balances? And if so, what would that be?
Well, I think the system works, but it's the people who are part of the system. And it's really kind of a sad commentary that any coach or individual would, for their own personal gain, sacrifice an admission slot at a great institution and a spot on their team for their own benefit. And it's like anything in life and in athletics. You have to hire great people, and you have to trust them, and you hope that they do the right thing, whether it's in working with admissions or compliance rules, NCAA compliance rules, or how they act as an individual when they coach their particular teams. So I think every school is probably going to now re-examine their checks and balances, kind of reiterate what they do. But it really comes down to people.
Do you think, as a final question, Dave, that this is more widespread? In other words, from your experience, had you heard about things like this happening and now it's confirmed, or is an isolated case with this guy Singer as the middleman out in California?
I would hope that it's an isolated case, and I was pretty shocked to hear it. And, when I coached women's swimming at Brown, as my wife says, I was so competitive, I would probably never sell a slot for billions of dollars because I wanted great athletes who are great people who could help the team win.
Well, that's a good point. You're giving up a player. You're actually hurting your team just for the money, that's a good point. Yeah.
And it's really like anything. Is someone going to be honest, or are they going to cheat or do something for their own benefit? But I do think that schools will really be kind of reiterating with their coaches and their admissions liaisons how they want to operate. It would be tough to say, okay, let's say I put 10 swimmers forward.
Yeah.
To go in and have someone in admissions look at their swimming tape or their times and verify whether they actually compete or not. There's got to be trust, and hopefully people trust each other.
Okay, good enough, Dave. Thank you for taking a few minutes today, Dave Brown. Dave Roach, I should say, who used to be the AD at Brown and now is at Fordham. Thanks a lot.